Hello students, welcome to this installment of art. Today we're going to be exploring 10 creative ways you can use crayons by making an autumn leaf design, sort of like this. So to start off, you're going to start off by drawing your leaf. You're going to need a piece of white drawing paper and you're going to need a pack of crayons. And think about where you would like to make a rubbing for one of the sections of the leaf. You might have rubbing plates at your house like this, or you can just put it on any rough surface like maybe a brick wall, or you could put it on a placemat, anything to create a rubbing. So to draw the leaf, you're going to draw a diagonal line from corner to corner, and then draw the outside edges of the leaf, and then divide the leaf up with 4 V-shaped lines. Set number 1, set number 2, oops, set number 3, and then set number 4, just like this. All right, and then you're ready to color. We're going to start off with creating value using a crayon. So when you create value using a crayon, you're going to pick your first color, and on one end of the leaf, you're going to start coloring back and forth pretty hard. And then on the other end, you can lighten the pressure so that it's not very hard at all, and then do something in between right there. So that's creating value on your leaf. Our second technique is to layer colors. When you're layering colors, you're going to pick out 2 different colors. And the first color up and down like this, lightly, until you cover it, but leave some white gaps showing, and then pick out your second color and color in the opposite direction. This is a really good thing for making new colors when you have a limited palette. The third thing that you're going to do is pick a color scheme. Now, color schemes are something we talk about a lot in art. And for my little example here, I picked out a primary color scheme. Primary colors are the colors that you need to make all the other ones, and they are red, blue, and yellow. So here's my red, yellow, and blue. The secondary colors are the colors that are made up from the primary colors. So if you look at the color wheel here, in between blue and red is violet or purple. You mix red and yellow, you get orange. And if you mix yellow and blue, you get green. So a secondary color scheme would be green plus violet plus orange. So red, yellow, blue is primary. Green, violet, orange is secondary. Finally, you have your warm and your cool colors. Your warm colors are the colors that, you know, kind of feel like fiery hot, and they're the reds, the oranges, and the yellows. Your cool colors remind you of green grass and cool water. They're the greens, the blues, and the violets. So you could pick warm colors or cold colors. I picked warm colors for my leaf here. I picked red, orange, and yellow. You could also pick primary and secondary. So pick a color scheme and then color your leaf in using that color scheme. The next thing you can do is add contrast. You get the most to make contrast in your design. You're going to pick out just one color and you're going to outline it using a lot of heavy pressure and then color it in lightly. So contrast is right here. I colored it in with a light amount of red and then outlined it with a dark amount of red. And then variety. Variety is when you use opposite colors. Now, opposite colors are a primary color and then the secondary color that doesn't include it. So red and green are opposite. Blue and orange are opposite. Yellow and violet are opposite. So here I have blue and orange, and then here I have red and green, and the third option is yellow and violet, also known as purple. Our next one is texture. So a texture is when you create some sort of a pattern inside of your design. Any type of line design will do. And then you're going to lightly cover over it. So go ahead and repeat a pattern. You can use one type of line like this, or you can do many different types of line. And then fill the section of the leaf in with that texture, and then color over top. Like that. Then the next one is going to be blended colors, which I've done a little bit of that right there. With blended colors, you can pick colors that are similar and then let them flow into one another. These are really great if you're trying to create reflective surfaces or if you're going to be doing a sunset. So here I have a variety of purples and I can blend them into one another. So I have a violet purple here, and I can color it back and forth, and then pick out the next color, which is a deeper one, and let them overlap a little bit here. It's getting progressively redder. And then this one overlaps. And then this one. And so on. This is blended color. Next up, texture rubbing. Your best friend for a texture rubbing is an old crayon that doesn't have any paper left on it. If you need to use a brand new crayon, you can hold it sideways a little bit like this to try to rub it. But a texture rubbing works best when you're using the flat side of the crayon, well, the rounded side of the crayon right here, and put a texture underneath your design. If you don't have one of these, you can just use something like a piece of fabric to create a rubbing, or go to a brick wall and then, or put some leaves from outside underneath your paper. You can make rubbings of all sorts of things, but just go ahead and using the side of the crayon if you can, or the side of the tip. Don't let your paper wiggle, and go back and forth and rub, rub, rub. These are so fun to do. Rubbings make a wonderful collage material. If you like to cut and paste and piece pictures together, you can do that with rubbings. Hatching and cross hatching. Hatching and cross hatching is a technique that illustrators use when they only have a pen. It's a way to create shading, and it's a great way to create patterns. The only hatching is when you use a series of lines that go in one direction, and cross hatching is when those lines crisscross. So you can do hatching, cross hatching, or both. And I'm going to do it right here. So I'm going to do some hatching lines this way, and then the cross hatching lines go the other way. Like that. And then finally, our last technique is called pointillism, or stippling. And it's a little bit like creating a texture, but you're just going to be using a series of little dots or lines to fill in an area. And so pick out whatever color you want and repeat little marks inside of the leaf. You can use more than one color for stippling. The most famous stippler is Georges Seurat, who made huge paintings that covered an entire wall of people at a park in Paris, and it's viewable at the Art Institute of Chicago. He had tiny, tiny little dots that he mixed colors. But this is stippling, and it's up to you whether you want to leave the background white or if you would like to color it in. So happy coloring. Enjoy making your autumn leaf. On the slide, there's a web link to this list. So if you would rather just do it by the pictures, you can pull up this website and the list will be right there. with examples of everything that we just did. The next installment is going to be finishing the leaf up, different ways to mount it. So check the next video after you finish your project. Bye-bye now.